in the form of a bombshell to majority of the Formula One community, especially viewers, does not come to a bombshell in my perspective. I've been feeling that Vettel was going to retire by the next season, end of this season, but I felt within 2 seasons Vettel was going to be gone, and I've said that in several videos. And to our surprise, our amaze, our sadness, I think we all can. Well, I think most of us who can appreciate what Vettel has brought to the sport, how he has carried himself. I know some people feel maybe comments he made after Abu Dhabi may not have landed on ears as well as you would like, but I think Vettel's support and camaraderie, and I may even say friendship with Lewis, definitely you should know where he stood with the whole situation. Vettel has been somebody who has voiced his opinions and many other things. So we're going to get into this video. I definitely was not going to let, this situation or this retirement. And really, I think it's more like a celebration. Vettel is ready to move on to a different chapter in his life. And he said those things, and we will get into some of those things he said. Don't forget this weekend, I'm going to say this up front because somebody is going to become a new VIP member to the channel. They have accumulated enough points for the Tier 1 VIP box. We are going to award them that this Sunday at the finale lap. Please be there to support those people, because when it's your turn and you've accumulated enough points and I tell you that it's time for you to be around, I'm going to ask for people to be there to support and celebrate you. With that also being the case, boom, here is the new bottle for the podiums. It is crazy. You all voted on it, and here it is. Wow. I mean, look at that. That is a beaut, okay? You all have good taste. I'm going to tell you that. You have good taste. Here it is. We're going to go ahead and keep this one chilled up for some time. I'm going to slide that big box over there, and let's get into this video about Sebastian Vettel, however y'all want to say it. I say Vettel. And Seb, I think you all definitely probably knew something was up when Seb created a social media. Like, up until this time, Seb has not been the best social media type person, whether you want to try to tag him in things or not. So right then and there was an indication. Plus, let's not forget about the earlier signing. I did a post on the YouTube community channel of Wolfpack Performance about that signing of Felipe and coming up out of Formula 2 to be a reserve driver. So when you see movements like that, and I really did, he's done well, but when you see movements all of a sudden like that, along with things that have been going on with Vettel, it kind of started telling me like, yeah, something's about to happen. So first off, I'm gonna give Vettel his flowers. 53 wins, 57 poles, 38 fastest laps, 122 podiums, 8 hat tricks, 4 grand slams. Like, that is something to be applauded. 4-time back-to-back world champion, the youngest world champion right now standing to date, and most successful, most accomplished, most world championship winning driver in the Red Bull team, and even taking Toro Rosso to a second place in the World Championship 2009. That is something to be celebrated. Vettel himself, 289 Grand Prix, did not reach that 300 mark, although he will reach that 300 mark coming up because he's not retiring until the end of the season, so he will reach the 300 mark. Now I'm going to get into some things that I had said prior to this video about Sebastian, and what I had said is I thought that he was going to retire, and a lot of that push to retire was seeing some things that were developing with him as far as his personality and him reacting certain ways in Formula One. Accordingly, Seb is one of those drivers that will speak to politics, just like Lewis Hamilton will speak to politics. Several people out there frown upon that. Several people up there frown up most at that because when Lewis does it, and that's because of some, whatever your reasons are your reasons, but I'm just going to call it hate. But Sebastian has done the same thing, in different topics, in different areas he's spoken up. Sebastian also said he wasn't going to show up to a Grand Prix given situations that were going to arise or happen. And that about him will definitely be missed. To have a warrior like that on the grid, somebody that will represent not only drivers but the world, is something to consider and something to appreciate. Now, I did draw a lot more of his retiring in my perspective, to the fact that Aston Martin has been poo-poo. I mean, they have legitimately been butt, all right? They have not done very well this season, at least not up to my expectations, probably anybody else's expectations based off what we saw the previous year. And I know we're dealing with a new car, new platform, new regs, but Aston Martin is not where they should be as a team and as a manufacturer, nor to the level of having a 4-time world championship driver in your seat delivered a car that is competitive. They've been in the drop-off zone several times going into qualifying. At least maybe not even a mid-tier competing team at times, maybe glimpse of sunshine sometimes this season, not much. And that is what I attributed that was going to probably have Sebastian walk sooner than later. But with these new developments, with him making a social media and having this video, I felt that there were other things that really added to the ingredients of Sebastian saying, like, right now, in the midst of a season, like, I'm going to retire at the end of the season. Now, we all know retirement these days in sports are like changing a pair of jeans. Like, they say to retire and then all of a sudden they're coming back. And we don't know if that's going to happen. We just know right now Sebastian said he's walking. And after watching this video, I'm inclined to think that he is actually legitimately going to walk away from driving as a Formula One driver. Now, I'm not saying he won't be involved in other ways, but I think he legitimately is walking. Now, if he comes back, hey, it happens. I mean, we've seen it with other, especially like Tom Brady. We saw it retire, but I'm not sure he'll come back. Gronkowski, I'm retired, but you know what? Call me, I'm coming back. We've seen this. I don't know if this is going to happen with Sebastian. I think watching this video, I think it was like a big F-U to F1. The way he spoke, listening to him, I think a lot of his reasons were the sport no longer resonates with Sebastian. What the sport has become internally, organizationally wise, all the things that have transpired, I don't think sit well with Sebastian. Whether that be racial issues, homophobic issues, women's rights, drivers being treated like, I don't think that whole situation that happened in Saudi didn't sit well with him, period. It didn't sit well with a lot of drivers, especially Lewis Hamilton. It did not sit well with them. I mean, basically held hostage to do the race or you're not leaving this country is how that message came across. It will not be easier for you to leave if you do not have this race. That's basically being held hostage, or you face those consequences that we will impose upon you. That didn't sit well with him. I think, later on we had the Spezza situation. Gets on the scooter, rides out, boom, he's penalized for that. Then we have the underwear situation. Then next thing you know, Sebastian's walking out of meetings. This was the building up of showing you that as a person, as a character, he was not sitting well in Formula One anymore. And is it because you're not winning, so you don't have those things to occupy some of your attention versus the other things happening on? I mean, it could be. Maybe it could not be. But I don't think Sebastian cared for what Formula One has become, what Formula One may become to be, and what it is showing him right now, aside from the team not being competitive. So, yeah, Sebastian, like I've already said it. I've always said it. Sebastian's one of my favorite drivers. He definitely moved up to number 2, especially when Max showed his characteristic traits. I moved him right on down, moved Seb up to number 2. Lewis Hamilton's number 1. I like Daniel Ricciardo, although he's pissed away his career. I like Lando. Definitely like Russell. Perez is like, he's not getting the best out of it. But, I mean, I like several drivers for several different reasons, more than others, some because of the character that they display, and Sebastian is one of those. And we're all not perfect, so I'm very aware that he may have things or said things people don't sit well with. But overall, I have him marked high up on my scorecard when it comes to the grid. So I wish Sebastian the best with whatever chapter he's going to create. He did say the race is not over. He's going to go and fight another fight on another front. And I'm really interested to see what those fronts are. What does he have on his agenda post being a Formula One superior elite driver? Sebastian Vettel would rank in that category to me of one of the greats. He's done some great things, 4 times back-to-back with Red Bull championships. Nobody's delivered that to Red Bull yet. Waiting to see if that ever happens, but Sebastian did. He's Red Bull's best driver up until this date. And until somebody else does more than that first, then we'll see that. And that's what this sport should be about, right? As time progresses, new blood comes in, new drivers come in and get opportunities. Although it is fair to say that there are drivers out there that will not get the opportunity due to financial reasons or sponsorships or money packages or the good old boy system. And there may be great drivers out there that will never be unearthed into a seat in Formula One because of those situations. And I've voiced a few times that Formula One needs to create a program to open up avenues to people who may be able to come the route that Lewis Hamilton came. Lewis Hamilton was not one of these kids arriving on a helicopter, parents having billions or millions of dollars. He came through an entirely different avenue and is the greatest driver up until now and still in Formula One. And he did not come the traditional way that Formula One would have liked for their crowned, crisp, spoiled drivers to come. Many of you see these pay-by-seat drivers. I mean, Latifi's one of them, and he sucks. Lance Stroll's another one, and he sucks. I'm not going to say he sucks. He's just below par of what we would like to see on the grid. And you look at the way they came. And so, yeah, I think a program definitely should be put in place to open that. A lot of you frown up on diversity, but what you fail to realize that Sebastian, Lewis Hamilton, and several others that definitely are for that. It's because there's a need for it, because it's been evident, as we've seen even in Aston Martin's garage, an employee in the laminates department getting treated unfairly because of his background, his ethnicity, his sexual preferences. These things happen, so that's why there's always a reaction, an equal and opposite reaction for action. Okay, so stop the BS. All right, we're going to get in that. But I think Sebastian is going that route. I think he sees there's more good, more energy, the energy that he could put into not only his family, his wife, his kids, his friends, his life of living, but also making and improving life and opportunities for others. And I want to see is that the direction that Seb is going to go? If so, great on him. If not, he has the right to do what he wants with his life post Formula One, and I salute him. All right. So that's it for this video. Don't forget, be live with us for the quality kickback. It is a qualifying watch along. We are in the chat live with it, jumping with it. Then we go live again post the race on Sunday to chop it up with the highlights, debate, talk our crap, do all of that. And then the Wolfpack channel members will meet in a Zoom meeting called the Wolves Den to have another session, and that is members only. So I will see you all then. All right, just build it. Peace. Thanks for tuning in and watching another video here at Wolfpack Performance. Check out some of my other content on Formula One issues, our topics, and our DIY products on how to customize your vehicle. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.